Sup, you beautiful bastards! All right, Callum wanted me to do that. I didn't want to do that. Welcome back to Rewind Rental.
What a great start. I hope
Episode
this is
9.
someone's first episode and they just leave.
Shut up, Evan! Welcome back to Rewind Rental, episode 9. We're talking about Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. I was about to say Don Koffler, but that's not
No.
that's not the name. I have no fucking idea what happens in this movie because there's like 3 different synopsises on the websites I've looked up. So it's Evan's pick this week. So Evan, bringing us in with the synopsis.
It's a very simple, straightforward plot. I don't know why you struggle with it. So basically, this Mexican dude impregnates the daughter of a wealthy landowner / gangster, and obviously he's not too fond of that. So he sets a bounty on whoever can bring the head of this man to him, dead.
Of
obviously.
$1 million.
It wasn't $1 million. It was like 10,000, wasn't it?
No, it was $1 million.
Was it?
The bounty
He
was $1
said-
million. The
he said
guy got
$1
10.
million for the man who brings me the head of Alfredo Garcia.
Oh well, there you go. I was
Yeah,
mistaken. Anyway,
But his
Um,
but his sidemen got gave Big Teeth Man 10 grand.
yeah. So basically,
Wait, do you mean Benny?
yeah, Benny.
Yeah, Benny and the Jets.
Let me finish, alright? So, basically, 2 hitmen go out looking around Mexico and asking people around, and they happen to come across a piano player in a bar, Benny, played by Warren Oates, who hears of this, and uses his connections to try and find Al Garcia to get the money for himself with his girlfriend. That's basically the plot.
That's true. That is the plot.
It's
So,
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Quick opening.
It's basically a road trip movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. I'll start because I think. Now I want to preface this. I know every episode we've all kind of agreed on our opinions of the film. I know Inherent Vice was not our favorite film.
Agreeing in the opposite
stinker.
direction.
Big stinker.
Big
stinky.
stinky.
Yeah.
But this week episode, I know Evan and Callum, we had a discussion beforehand. They seemed to like it. I did not. It was not really. I didn't enjoy it. I wasn't hooked. I wasn't very entertained. I'm not sure why. I don't have a justification as to why. It's just a natural human instinct. I just wasn't entertained by it. I thought it was a bit. I actually can't explain myself. I wasn't interested. I didn't care much for it.
I think in hindsight, it's a movie that you've got to watch when you're feeling a certain mood, because it's a very melancholy kind of movie. So I think that maybe if I picked a more accessible Sam Peckinpah film, like The Wild Bunch, or even Convoy, that might have been a better choice for us to discuss. But as it happens, I adore this film. This is the first film of his I saw. Actually, no, that's a lie. The first film I saw was Convoy when I was young. But, yeah, no, this is the first, really Sam Peckinpah style movie that I saw of his. And I just loved it. I fell in love with it. It was one of the first movies I bought from Era Video on a blind buy, just because I love the artwork on the cover. And I like... And in the same way you couldn't explain why you didn't really feel it, I can't really explain why I like it so much. It just... I don't know. It hits all the right notes for me. It's not even the kind of film I normally watch either. I just feel... I don't know. It feels like one of those films that's like... It's a modern Western. I think it's safe to say it's a modern Western.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's got all those tones of the right thing, and at the same time, it's very much like a downward spiral for our main character.
I was thinking. I wrote down. This film is just a guy unraveling.
Yeah, basically. But I love those kind of plots, and the way he redeems himself at the end as well, I think is really... I don't know, it works for me. Like, it was just... If it would just be depressing if that wasn't the case.
I wasn't expecting him to find some kind of redemption. I thought he was just gonna end up being just kind of living with himself, I guess.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's what I felt too.
It didn't really, in my opinion, but I feel this is going to be disagreed with. There was no real justification because Alfredo Garcia was dead. His girlfriend ends up dying, and then he ends up dying. The main character, Big Teeth Benny.
Spoilers.
the film came out in like 1978 or
But I
70
think-
something.
74. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
whatever.
I think that works because, like, I think the hopelessness of it serves the story because you very much get the sense that he's getting in way over his head and that nothing can go well, like very early on. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like that's the feeling I get. Like, there's no path out of this. There's no way he's getting out of this well. And I think the way that plot was resolved and the way he redeemed himself was, I think, the best outcome for a story like this. Because I think I'd be frustrated too if there was just like nothing. I mean, I probably wouldn't like it as much. I think just the redemption as well really adds a lot to it.
It works. It really adds like another layer to the story.
Now, I don't know,
Yeah.
with the copy that you guys watched, I don't know if there were subtitles, so you might have missed some
There
of the
were not.
Spanish dialogue. Yeah.
It was subtitles at the beginning.
Was there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, for like the first few minutes, but that's the reason there were no subtitles was there's a story behind that as well as to why
Well,
we had no subtitles.
This film isn't anywhere. It's not on any streaming service.
You could have bought the Blu-ray. No, I'm kidding. I'm not making you buy a Blu-ray from the UK. Like, I watched it on my Blu-ray copy. I was ripping it for you guys so you could watch it with subtitles, but that didn't work.
Yeah, but you didn't
obviously.
get the subtitle track either.
I did.
Well, later on you did, yes, but the
At
first time.
5 a.m. in the morning.
Because I realized I started watching it. I sat down to watch it. I was like, oh fuck, it didn't work. So I had to rip it again. That took like 4 hours by the time it was 5 a.m. Anyway,
How big is the average Blu-ray file?
11
well
gigabytes.
when I ripped it without compressing it, it was like 24 gigabytes, and then I compressed it and it was 11. So it took a while. Anyway,
Yeah, but going into that,
Right.
that's like the specifics of how much a disc can hold. But anyway,
Yeah.
regardless.
which is why Blu-rays are better. And DVDs
Oh, it's
suck. Anyway,
bit of a random question, but I was a bit curious.
Yeah.
Of that.
anyway, yeah. No, I adore the film a lot. What did you think, Callum, specifically?
I liked it. It was a bit of fun. Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting the twists and turns, I guess, that happen. I did find it a bit slow in parts, but it kind of also had that sort of modern Western feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I adore Western movies, so this was right up my alley, actually.
I'm glad it
'Cause-
was because I you go on.
I like slow movies, slow games. Like Red Dead Redemption's probably my all-time favorite game, and everyone's like, "It's so slow."
Yeah, but
But thi- and
it's
this
a
was,
Western.
like,
It's meant to be
right up my alley.
slow.
I don't think people have said Red Dead Redemption 2 is slow.
I have
People
seen that.
I worked at a cafe, and a bunch of the guys there were playing it, and they were just like, "I want to get through, but the intro is just so slow." And I'm like, "Bro, it's methodical."
Yeah, it's a Western. It's meant to be that way. It
Yeah,
works.
exactly.
I
Like,
think
just
that's
look
because
at
of
how-
the story structure and how it's actually so formulaic and it's structured. So you have to kind of everything serves a purpose, really,
Yeah.
including
Yeah, exactly.
including the side missions. But whether you want to whether you want to focus on them is entirely up to you.
I think the side missions offer like a well-earned break from the main story, which is quite nice. I just think it's one of the best structured games I've ever seen, and I think this film followed sort of a similar, really slow burn, and
Yeah.
it felt like a very brisk 2 hours actually.
Yeah, it's not that. Even though it's a slow burn, it doesn't slow down. I think the slowest part is before Benny and his girlfriend start like driving through Mexico. Before that, it starts to slow down a little bit while Benny's still like going to the hitmen and getting the money from them and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit slow around there, but then he moves down and he starts driving around Mexico, and he has that proposal to her on the side of the road and stuff like that.
Those moments were really nice. The chemistry between Warren Oates and Isela Vega. Is that her
Vega.
name?
I think so. Yeah.
They worked really well together.
Yeah, they did.
You really felt like they really knew each other.
Because they're not always nice to each other. They're in fact really nasty to each other for when we first meet them. But like they still have that chemistry. You still you can tell they still care for each other.
Like like he's trying to get her out of bed, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Come on, get out!" And it's like if you just saw that scene, you'd be like, "Jeez,
Yeah.
come on."
There
Or even
are
the
there
like,
is a fair bit of male on female violence. I will
There
point out.
There was just a whole lot of violence. I
Like-
was amazed at how violent this movie was.
Yeah, no. If you watch any Sam Peckinpah movie, because he directed between I think 1969 to early 80s, I think maybe late 70s. His movies were incredibly violent for the time. Like they rival some stuff even now, and I think that's why he's such a controversial director. But I like his films a lot. All his films are quite good.
I think it's controversial. I think some things were kind of just done for. Some things were kind of just done and they weren't explained. Like in the bar when
When he just knocks out the prostitute.
yeah, he just
Yeah,
he just
I was
elbows the girl
not
in the face.
expecting that at all.
I wasn't taken aback, but I was just like, okay. And
Yeah, like, and then everyone in the bar's just like, oh, jeez, come on.
well,
I think
none
it's
of that.
get
I think
a
it's-
load of this guy.
I think it's to serve a point to like the kind of world that they're in and the kind of people they're dealing with. I think that's the purpose of that anyway. But I can see how it would come off as like, well, why is this even happening? This is just random, you know.
Fair enough, but I think the world building could have been done. You know, it could have. Other things maybe could have been done, but if they, I can't change it. Film's 30-some years old, 50, 40, whatever. I don't do maths.
I did like how the film, like 10 minutes in, just had a montage. Like just instantly, we don't know any of the characters, and it's like, oh, here's a montage. I don't know, just something I picked up on. I was like, oh, this movie's got.
How
something
big
cool.
was this movie when it released?
It was really heavily criticized by most, except for good old Roger Ebert, who loved it. I know normally I shit on that guy a lot, and I don't really have a high opinion of him.
I didn't. I think we discussed this like 4 or 5 episodes ago.
We talked about him in the first episode.
Did we? Oh yeah. Yeah. No, he was one of the few people who had a high opinion of it. A lot of other people didn't like it a lot. I think it bombed actually when it first came out. But I agree with Ibert on this one for once. I can't remember his exact words, but he liked the film a lot. And I think I've been trying to think of a way to describe this film because it's really hard for me to like put into words why I like it so much. I think it's because it's such a personal film. It really feels like, knowing Sam Peckinpah, at least what I know of him, this film feels like a really personal kind of movie because he was getting frustrated with the Hollywood system. He wanted to get out of that, and he was familiar with Mexico at the time, and he wanted to have a movie that just explores Mexico.
Mhm.
And that was this movie. So I feel like, given how personal the film was to him, I think that's why that's one of the reasons it feels so special to me.
The reason I ask is because I think because compared to other films released in 1974, The Godfather Part 2 was released in 1974. Now, as I don't know the specifics of when they were released, because Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia was August 1974, and The Godfather, for us, for Australia, it says 2nd of January 1975. However, it's well known that it is a 1974 release. So March 15th. Wait, no, what the? So, gotta love when websites don't tell you the actual thing. They just, I love when Google just auto fills in not what you're looking for. You're like, thanks. Okay. Anyway, Godfather 2, 1974.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry, that was my point basically.
My
Yeah,
my dad saw this when it first came out, and he said that he loved it.
Oh, interesting.
He saw it in cinemas when it first released.
That would have been an experience. I would have been keen to see that in cinemas.
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool.
Because it wasn't really available for a long time after its release, and I think the Arrow Video Blu-ray now is probably the best way of seeing it because it's restored and it looks really nice and the artwork is amazing.
It's not really anywhere though, which is weird. Like, it's still really hard to come by.
Yeah, but I think it wasn't. I don't know. I'm surprised.
Is it a rights issue or something?
No, because if Arrow did it, then they would have been able to get the rights. In the US, I think it has a release as well. No, it does. It has a release in the US as well. I don't know.
It's sold on Amazon. It's just not sold on Amazon Video. So I think it's just the streaming.
It's just not on any streaming service.
I think because maybe there's not really an audience. I'm talking in businesses' eyes.
It's kind of a hard movie to sell anyway, because I'm struggling to describe it. I've seen it 3 times now. And it's a movie that I really like, and I'm still struggling to describe it, let alone a company trying to sell it to someone,
No, I agree.
But usually they put things like the way Netflix and stuff do things. From what I've heard, is that they they put them in like a deal that like we'll give you a bunch of this director's films and this director's films for this amount of money.
Well, on that, seeing you bringing that up, I don't think any of Sam Peckinpah's films are on, not on Netflix, at least to my knowledge, on Netflix Australia anyway. Stan, I don't know, and Amazon Video, I haven't really checked, but I don't think it is.
It's not on Stan. I tried checking.
It's not on Amazon.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, maybe just for whatever reason his films haven't been picked up by any streaming platform. Which is surprising because, you know, The Wild Bunch is a highly praised film, as is Straw Dogs. I don't know, maybe it's just the rights issue with his films, or maybe just because he's a bit of a controversial figure. Maybe that's why, I don't know.
Mayhaps.
An interesting thing that I didn't realize until recently, cause I was flicking through the trivia when I was watching it, is that Warren Oates based his character off Sam Peckinpah, down to even the sunglasses that he wears all the time are Sam's glasses that he's borrowed for the film. Because I don't know if you guys know, but Sam Peckinpah was a very bad alcoholic. He had a lot of problems.
I did not know that. No.
Makes a bit of sense.
Which is partly due to partly the cause of his controversy. But I think Warren Oates was a good friend of his, and he worked closely with him. So Warren Oates based his character off him. Which I just thought it was interesting. I didn't realize at first, but now looking at pictures of Sam Peckinpah, I can see that definitely.
I got a vibe. Warren Oates kind of reminded me of Gomez from the original Addams Family TV show. Just the way he spoke.
He's a good actor. I like him a lot. He was in Stripes with Bill Murray.
Ah, yes, good old Bill.
I know him more from what else have I seen him in? I'm trying to think. What's the name of the movie? Dillinger. He was in Dillinger. He played John Dillinger.
I'm not familiar. Bill Murray's a bit of an enigma, isn't he?
Have you seen
yes, he is.
Have you seen was it Bill Murray?
Which movie?
I think Bill Murray, not in a movie, just Bill Murray rocked up to someone's like house party.
Oh yeah, no, there's a documentary about him, about all the different stories of people who have met him.
He just rocks up to this house party and they're like, "Oh, are you Bill Murray?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm just here to hang out."
Yeah, he just because some band rocked up and he was just a groupie. He just rocked up and started unpacking instruments and something, and then they're like, "Oh, it's Bill Murray," and he goes, "Yes, it is."
The guy from Man of Steel, Michael Shannon, is kind of like the same. Michael Shannon's a pretty weird guy.
Oh, I loved Michael Shannon in
he's cool.
in Knives
really
Out.
Cool. I haven't seen Knives Out.
I think I might do that for my pick because it's definitely a very good film. I know Evan strongly doesn't like Ryan Johnson, but I feel like Knives Out's definitely going to change his opinion because Knives Out is a fantastic murder mystery. It's very well structured.
What's wrong with Ryan Johnson? I
mean, I like Looper. I just like his other films, specifically Brick and The Last Jedi.
What about The Last Jedi? Okay.
Last Jedi isn't the reason I hate him like most people. Brick frustrated me way more than Last Jedi ever will. But
what about Breaking Bad?
We're not starting on that. Look, I don't count it when they direct a couple episodes of a TV show. I don't doubt his directing ability. He's a solid director. He's just not a great writer.
Oh, Knives Out will change your mind, my friend. Knives Out will change your mind. Knives Out will set you free.
Well, I liked Looper a lot, but it didn't change.
Can I get a praise Jesus, hallelujah? Knives Out will set you free. Everybody raise your hands.
Well, I hope so.
Fuck you.
I said I hope so.
If you're driving right now, raise your hands. Take those hands off the wheel. just
if you're on the freeway, raise your hands. Please don't do that. Don't sue us.
We're not liable.
But Knives Out, definitely. Knives Out was such a good cast. Ana de Armas, she's in fucking everything recently.
If you want to pick it for a pick, should we shave? Should we save the conversation for then?
Should we shave for Ana de Armas? Definitely. She's a very beautiful woman. Michael Shannon. She played Joy in Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, her.
Yes.
Michael Shannon was great. Michael Shannon in 8 Mile as well. He played Greg Buell, Eminem's stepdad, or kind of his mum's boyfriend, basically. And Greg Buell is definitely a funny character. Have you seen 8 Mile?
Like Eminem's actual stepdad?
No, like the B-Rabbit's
Oh,
stepdad in 8 Mile.
8 Mile, right? I thought
Yeah,
you
he-
meant like in the. Oh, I was like so confused.
No. Michael Shannon played the mum's boyfriend, but it was weird because like they're the same age, because they went to the same school
Oh
together.
yeah. Maybe we should do that for an episode. You're not a massive fan of rap, are you, though, Evan?
Not really. There's like maybe 10 rap songs in the world I know I like. That's it.
Is
And
rap God
how
one
many
of them?
how many
No.
of them are Cypress Hill?
2.
Any of them Eminem?
No, because they're all like early 90s hip hop.
What
And
about
maybe, like, early
Kanye
2000s.
West?
Well, Eminem is early 90s hip hop if you count his earlier stuff.
I mean, like really early, like you know.
You're talking about Grandmaster
Wu-Tang
Flash and the Furious 5.
Wu-Tang Clan? Are you a Wu-Tang Clan guy, Evan?
I am.
No, I know you are. I'm not.
I recently started listening to Wu-Tang Clan, actually.
I don't get the appeal. Same with Death Grips. I don't get why everyone loves them so much.
Don't talk shit about Death Grips, alright?
I'm not talking shit. I just don't get it.
Listen
I'm
here,
not,
buddy.
I'm not having this discussion.
I listened to
Look, if you put your penis on an album cover, you're fucking weird anyway.
bring the ruckus. I listened to.
Bring the Ruckus is good. Any
That's a-
song
that's
off
a
of Enter the
great
36 Chambers is a certified bop. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia.
course.
Actually, we were talking about Michael Shannon. But
We've really strayed quite far from.
what else is Michael Shannon in? No. Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. It was definitely... It's a fucking mouthful, to be honest.
It
as well.
is. It is. I keep having to say it because I'm like,
Why
oh,
don't-
maybe doing a Bring Me the Head of Garcia.
Why don't we
It's
call
fucking...
it BMTHAG?
No.
No, that's even worse.
I'm gonna call him Bring Him the Head of Alf the Puppet.
Just do bring me the head of Al. Just do
You could
bring
just
me the head
you
of
could
Al.
just say Al.
Bring
Al
Me the Head of
Garcia.
Al Bundy.
Did
Al
you at
Bundy would
least
have had
enjoy?
a lot of enemies.
I bet. Did you at least enjoy the humor in the film?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Fuck, I was gonna just go fuck myself then. All right.
Oh, fucking settle, pedal. Listen, I will give it props to the not the final shootout, but like the second to last shootout where
With the cars.
The one on the road.
no, the one where he goes to
Oh, the one with the
Spanish
bounty hunters,
head.
The hotel.
I think if that's the one with the mirror, there's
think
a
that is
shot.
the
It
one.
was in the trailer where he hides behind a wall and he's standing in a mirror, and this absolute idiot just starts shooting at the mirror, thinking it's him.
Oh yeah.
And then Benny comes out and then just shoots the man.
Oh yeah, that was in the hotel room where you at the bounty hunters.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite bit. I definitely liked that.
I really like the bit where on the freeway or the highway or
I,
the road.
I love
and
that. That's my favorite shootout in the film. I love
That
that
guy,
a lot.
I like how that guy just he's like, we're gonna have to. What is he saying? We're gonna have to cut it here. And then the guy just pulls back his jacket, and then he's just got like this Tommy gun. And did you see his face when he's just emptying it? Like he's just having a great time.
Yeah.
I wrote
didn't-
down the dude's face when he is firing the machine gun at everyone.
I didn't
Just
pay
as a
much
point.
attention to it really, so I don't have a specific memory of when things happen. I have a general
Maybe that's your problem.
remembrance. There's my problem. Yeah.
You're on your phone too much.
I definitely, I will admit, I did grab the phone a few bits. I was
Yeah.
listening though. I was paying attention. I was listening.
I did look at my phone, but that's because I was changing my
Fucking zoomers.
widgets on my home screen.
You
Anyway.
were a year older than me, Evan.
Anyway, no, I brought up
Oh,
the humor
no. Anyway,
because I brought up the humor because I don't know, the dark humor in the film I really enjoyed, especially when he's just in the car just talking to the head.
I thought
And he
I thought that was pretty funny. How he's just
Yeah.
they never
like,
showed the head. I was disappointed.
Well, 'cause
It's pretty.
it's covered in it's a bloody bag covered in flies. I don't think you need to really see it. You know.
Listen, I had an expectation for your picks, and I was disappointed. Although I'm not asking for you to try and beat yourself.
You want more severed heads? All right, I'll do that for you next. week.
No, listen to what I just said. Don't try and top yourself.
No, I will. Fuck you.
I like the bit. I like how at the end he picks up the head and he goes, "Come on, Al, we're going home." Like,
Yeah, you really like that basket as well.
oh, he's like, "I'm taking this basket.
It's my favorite basket.
It belonged to a very special woman."
He also kind of sounded a bit like Norm Macdonald as well, I thought. Come on, Al, let's go home.
He sounded like Jerry Seinfeld there.
No, I sounded more like,
Come on now.
what's his
What
name?
is the deal with Alfredo
John Lovitz.
Garcia?
I sound more like John Lovitz. Now that I've done it, I can't go back to it. But Jerry Seinfeld can't really act, which is a reoccurring joke, which is a whole gag for an episode. But
There's a whole gag on Seinfeld.
yes, it's a whole episode because it's during the
It's the whole movie of B-movie.
it's during, I think it's like season 4 or 5 when they're doing the Jerry show.
See, no,
Which
that's
is-
in season 2 or something.
No, it's not.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's during the Jerry run because Kramer goes like, "You can't act, Jerry," and he goes, "What do you mean? I can act." And there's
What
this
do you
whole-
mean?
You cut
Jerry
out for me,
talks.
Jack.
Didn't cut out on the waveform.
Yeah, obviously not, you fucking muffin. But oh, that's definitely gonna cut out in the gain. Anyway, oh no. Anyway, there is a man with massive teeth. I've lost the fucking plot. I've lost my train of thought.
I don't know what you're up to.
This film audio mix was in mono.
Nice.
That's a bit
Oh,
weird.
let's do budget facts. Let's do money facts with Callum.
I'm the money man.
Did we
Is this
do
a-
that last
Is
episode?
this their equivalent of Conversation Street?
I don't know what that is.
The Grand Tour? No? Okay.
The Grand Tour.
I haven't watched that show enough yet.
I haven't watched the Grand Tour yet. No.
I've only watched the clip where they're going through an airport and Jeremy Clarkson's just complaining about how much he hates airports.
No, my joke is
That's
lost for
funny.
both of you then. Never mind.
Evan, I'll watch Grand Tour by next week. Don't worry.
Okay, you'll get the joke.
Evan, if you have access to Amazon and you can lend it to me, then I'll watch it.
Can you do that with Amazon accounts?
I don't know.
What are you broke, Callum? Just pay for
Not
Amazon
really.
Prime.
That reminds me.
I
of
don't
my
want
mum
to give money to Amazon.
Last week, my mum texted me and she's like, "Hi, do you have Netflix or Stan?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" She goes, "Oh yeah, because I want to sign to your Netflix account and watch stuff on it." After years of refusing to get Netflix when I lived with her.
You should have said $15.
Did you let her?
No, because I cancelled my Netflix.
Excellent.
During that, not because of her, but just during that week because it fucking they upped the price.
Just as soon as you get the text, Mariah, we're cancelling it.
Just to spite her, cancel it. No, because they upped the price and I was like, ah, fuck, I can't be fuck paying for Amazon and Netflix.
So do you
I don't
just
watch
have
it.
Amazon now?
Yeah, I don't watch Netflix frequently enough. I'd cancel Amazon too, but I'm watching The Boys and American Gods and I like the free delivery, so whatever.
I think Breaking Bad's on Amazon.
Is it?
I
I'll
think
watch
so.
it. I'll watch that too.
It's on
Yeah,
Stan.
you
It's
can
on
watch
Amazon.
that too.
I know that's on Stan.
It is on Stan, yes. I have it on DVD.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Good on you.
One upped.
I have it on Laserdisc.
I fucking
have-
watched it live. Yeah.
What?
One up here, you
You were
bastard.
there. You were there on set.
I was
for
there
every shot
on
they used.
set, yes. every time Brian Cranston was sweaty, that's me with a mist bottle just going. Tss, tss.
You were holding the paper towel dispenser when Bryan Cranston just punched the shit out of it.
Yes, that was me holding on to it behind
You're
the
like,
wall.
Really good, Mr. Cranston. Really good.
Big ups, Brian Cranston.
When
We've
he was-
gone
when he was
severely
when
off
he was
track.
under the house and he was screaming, that was you just like poking him in his ribs.
I stabbed him with a needle in the foot.
Ah! I gave it to Ted. You what?
So Evan,
That's-
what attracted you to let's talk about Arrow Video and how you found because you said you bought it on a blind buy.
Yeah, that was one of the first purchases.
What is a blind buy?
Like I
think it's
didn't
pretty
watch the film.
self-explanatory, Callum.
I didn't
Well-
watch the film. I didn't hear of it. I didn't know about it. I just saw it advertised. I read the synopsis on Arrow's site and looked at the artwork and I bought it.
You
I
could
didn't-
say Seb did the same thing with Inherent Vice last week's pick.
Yes, he did, and he regretted it very much.
Listen, the trailer had more structure than the fucking plot. Now we said we weren't going to address this, but now I want
Don't
to.
do it. No.
We're
Someone
not going
co-
back to Inherent Vice.
There was a comment on last week's episode saying the film is meant to be plotless. I disagree. I don't think so. It doesn't. Then why wouldn't it? Why? No.
Listen
doesn't make
here,
sense.
Rebel
Why is
Punks
it?
88.
Oh no. Shush, don't say
You're
that.
wrong.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it doesn't. I disagree. You're entitled to your opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Free speech. That's what I'm here for. But some movies can be plotless. A lot of movies that do it well.
Name
I can't
one
think of any.
flawless movie.
I can't think of any examples. I was about to say, but Inherent Vice was just bad. I wasn't a fan.
There are no plotless movies because a movie has to have a plot to
A
have
movie
something.
has to have a plot. Just we all study film.
There's movies that can sideline the plot and they do it well, but Inherent Vice isn't one of them. Anyway, in discussion, we're moving on from Inherent Vice. We'll do this again.
I said I wasn't going to address it in this week's episode in our pre-episode meeting, but I just wasn't happy. I disagree with you, Rebel Punks 88, and I'd love to have another discussion if you're listening.
We'd love to have you as a guest on the show.
No, I didn't say that.
They probably came in. They came in, probably saw, flicked halfway through the episode, saw we were hating on Inherent Vice, like, fuck these guys, we're out. I'm out.
I mean, the video has 1 like on it, so unless that's any of us, then it's probably
Wasn't.
them.
Shout out my homie Zach. That's probably who it is.
Shout out Rebel Punks 88 and your homie Zach.
And my homie Zach.
None of my friends watch it after I tell them to. Fuck them.
You gotta do what I do and just say, hey, you're gonna watch it, right?
You gotta do what Callum does
Right.
and then just bring it up in every available
You
moment.
gotta shove it down everyone's throats.
Then they'll have to watch it.
Like in the middle of class.
In the middle
Anyway.
of the class, go, hey, yeah, so what have you been doing this holidays? Well, I started a podcast.
Speaking of class, you know what my favorite movie is? Clarks.
Oh, for fuck's sake. No one gets this joke. No one but us is going to laugh at this joke. And
No,
we'll
they
be so
won't, but
confused.
that's good. I don't care if you listen to it in 20-minute installments or you listen the whole way. You'll get the
Oh,
joke.
God.
It's a very specific call out, but
Anyway.
oh no. Anyway,
What we're talking about something to do with the film. You're talking about how I discovered it through our video, right?
yes.
Yes.
Where'd you buy it from?
From their site, because when I first discovered their site, it was before they redid it, and it looked like a 2000s era website, early 2000s.
MySpace.
But yeah, no, it looked pretty old.
Did it have like that
it was,
Windows XP aesthetic?
Yeah, kinda. Anyway, it was nice though. I liked it. It was cozy. But yeah, I first discovered them. When I was first getting into collecting movies, and I didn't really have a Blu-ray collection to speak of, apart from just a couple of local bought movies here and there. I was discovering all these companies that do these releases of cult films and how to get them and where to get them and that sort of stuff.
How did you find these cult films? Like as a child when you watched most of them.
Well, when I was younger and I saw the ones that I knew of, I either saw them on the shelf at Video Easy, like where I went with my dad every Friday, or I'd rented them already, but most of them I hadn't because I wasn't allowed to see them because they were rated R. But they stayed in my mind. I was keen to watch them eventually, and when I discovered these companies were doing those kinds of films, I ended up renting them. And then from there, the ones I discovered more was just browsing through IMDb and the directors and just sort of digging through and looking at stuff that seemed interesting, adding it to a watch list, and then go, oh, this company did it on Blu-ray, I'll buy it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, because when I first discovered Arrow, I was looking to find a copy of Demons, the Italian film, and I was looking on eBay because that was the only source I knew of at the time, and I saw this company did it. I went, okay, I'll look at this company. Maybe they did other stuff that is of interest. Little did I know what a rabbit hole I'd begun to dig.
That's saying something, isn't it?
Yeah, because Arrow is still the king of my shelf. I still own the most Arrow releases out of any other company.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's great. Arrow does great work.
Are they the company that has the office in Melbourne?
No, that's Umbrella.
That's Umbrella. Arrow's in the UK. Arrow's UK based. But yeah, no, if you ever...
Umbrella's the one that you're friends with, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm friends with a couple of guys. Well, friends. I talk to them occasionally. I meet them occasionally at the local market when that happens. Not because right now that can't happen, unfortunately.
If they'd like to come on, yeah, you know who to reach out to. Evan.
I don't think they're gonna come across this unless I bring it up with them, which I'm kind of embarrassed to do. Anyway,
Just bring
What?
Callum along, he'll do it.
I'll do it. I will. I've no shame. I don't get scared in public.
no shame.
No, I think we're not. Okay, yeah, we're not,
That was a weird thing to say. I take that back. I do have some. I do have some.
I think I was gonna say it, but I thought not. I don't think you think before you speak.
Oh, really? You just figured that out?
Let's go with yes.
But yeah, no, that was how I discovered it. If you're ever interested, anyone listening who in, starting to collect films, physical copies, I think Arrow is a great place to start. They got a great selection of films for all tastes. They've got trashy B movies. They've got art house films. They've got all sorts of stuff.
Is this Umbrella or Arrow? You were saying
Arrow.
Okay.
If it's a cult film, they likely have it. And then may you enjoy the rabbit hole you end up digging if you decide to check them out. Oh, on
88
that note,
Films is
actually,
another one as well.
they are very good. They do a lot of martial arts films and Italian films. Arrow last night announced they're doing a 4K Ultra HD release of Tremors, which is a film I was gonna pick this week actually, because I love that film as well. But maybe that's my next pick.
You
down
should
the-
have.
down
I
the
feel
line.
like we'd have more to discuss about the movie if we.
Is,
Oh, we
is
will.
Tremors the
You-
one with the big worm?
Yeah, with Kevin Bacon. and
No,
Fred
that's
Ward.
Dune.
Is it Dune or is it Dune? No, that's a bit.
Well,
that's a
the-
stolen bit.
We're not doing
Depends
this.
on how you pronounce it.
Yeah, that's the answer. That's the answer.
Anyway, I'll do Tremors down the line for next pick, and you guys will both love it. I know you will.
Yeah, sure. We'll do Tremors. I'm not debating that I won't.
Tremors is a 10 out of 10 film. Anyway, I'll say that for the episode.
So what's the
is
is Tremors basically that episode of SpongeBob when I drop something? Is Tremors basically that episode of SpongeBob where that giant worm comes out from the sand?
I don't know. I don't watch SpongeBob. I never did.
You should
I've
get
never
on that
watched SpongeBob
buckaroo.
either.
I'm not
Oh.
gonna catch up on my SpongeBob watching
SpongeBob,
now.
SpongeBob looks like just the most garbage TV show that has just been
At the
taken
ripe
on.
old-
It's been taken on by some kids who like memes and go, "Oh, we can take frames from SpongeBob because it's funny." It just doesn't.
I thought
look
you were
funny
brought
at
up on
all.
Saturday morning cartoons, Callum.
Yeah, not SpongeBob. I watched ABC 3.
Only real Chads watch ABC.
Yeah, only the Chads watch ABC 3.
ABC3 is fucking trash.
How dare you?
Name one good show on ABC3.
Spl-
That's not. It better not be that fucking Detention Air show, because looking back on it, that show was shit.
What? How dare you? Detention Air is. It's like a fine wine.
You broke him.
I
It was
fucking
good
broke
then,
Callum.
and it's good now.
Moving on.
Oh no. Anyway, I love doing that.
I like
know you do.
a lot of our viewers are actually from the US and the UK, so they might not even know what.
Yeah, they're not gonna understand what
ABC
we're talking about for half of this.
Can we talk about Top Gear? They'd understand Top Gear.
Sure.
Everyone understands Top Gear.
Top Gear is a good show.
Oh no.
It's a funny show.
We've got
Anyway.
we've
Jeremy
got
Clark.
3 viewers. We've got 3 listeners in Texas, and 1 listener in Nevada.
Well,
Interesting.
if you blow us up big enough, we'll do a US tour.
We're gonna be like the next, I don't know, people who do tours, and
Bigger than the next people who do tours. Thank you.
who was the last person to do a tour ever?
I don't know.
As in who's on tour now?
No, just the last person to do a tour.
Do you want to know who's touring currently?
No, just the last person to tour.
To a what?
No, just tour. You know,
That doesn't narrow it down.
no one's
know-
touring right now. We're in the middle of a global pandemic.
Well, in America currently, stand-up comedian Bert Kreischer is currently doing a tour.
Really?
Yeah, in like drive-in theaters to make everything COVID safe.
Huh.
Which
Good
is
on
actually
him.
very
Good on him.
smart, but
That's
I know
actually
I know other comedians were doing that. I know it's not. I don't think he invented it, but he's definitely doing it. Yeah. Because I listened to Two Bears One Cave by the Your Mum's House studio by Tom Segura and Christina Pazitsky, which is definitely a very good podcast as well. If you not like we'd fucking give them any support because like we're tiny.
If you'd rather listen to them instead of us, go ahead. I won't be mad.
You take that back right now.
Listen to both
Kidding.
of us, but they're both very funny podcasts. Both Two
probably
Bears
fun-
One
they're very
Cave
funny
and Your
podcasts.
Mum's House.
Can I bring something up? I just wanted to have this discussion with somebody because I haven't brought it up before.
Go on.
I really hate how Like, I know when movies coming out at the same time, it's like they're competing, but I don't understand why people go, you can't release this movie then because then I can't see it 'cause I'm seeing this movie. It's like, you can see more than one movie, you know?
That's true. You can
I don't-
you can do that.
I don't
feel
get
like,
what-
I feel like I have heard that argument be brought up, but
just
I
don't-
don't find a justification for it.
Can
I don't understand it.
Can I bring up a similar argument?
Go on.
I found it very annoying when John Wick 2 was being released here in Australia. It got
Why
released
so?
like 3 months after it got released in the US.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, that's right. I
And
remember.
like I remember, like all of my friends, they were like, "So have you watched John Wick yet?" And I'm like, "No, I'm waiting for it to come out," because they all pirated it. So like
Fuck 'em.
in the
Fuck 'em.
legal arguments that they're doing for like, "Oh no, we want this to show in Australia, but we want to only pay this much money," you're losing money by having this whole stupid legal debate.
Yeah. That's dumb.
This is how we watched the head of Alfredo Garcia.
Yeah, because there's no other option. There was an
Yeah.
option there. They just had to wait a couple of months.
Not even a couple of months now with fucking Zavi. I'm not having this discussion. Me and Evan
We're not-
speak privately about this. Not privately, but just in our own time.
What's wrong with
We're not,
Zavi?
gonna, we're not talking shit about Zavi on the podcast. I'm not going to throw shade at Zavi.
I'm not throwing shade. You know who I am throwing shade at? Oz fucking Post.
Yeah, them too.
They're not-
Like, we can throw shade at them. I don't care.
Yeah, but it's
Fuck 'em.
but it's sad because they're
Fuck them.
their SEOs and CEOs had to take a pay cut bonus, or no, they had to lose out on their bonuses for this year.
Oh, how terrible.
That's like
I have to miss out on my,
$500,000 they're not going to get.
I have to miss out on my packages for a couple of months because they're too slow to figure out a system that works during COVID. But anyway,
My Apple Watch is going to take like a week to come. 'Cause
I
they
ordered
use a
something in
private
Melbourne.
shipping.
We live in Melbourne. I ordered something from Melbourne 2.5 weeks ago. It has not moved.
Yeah, but is that Oz Post's fault or is that the company's fault?
That
Where
is
do you order
Ozpost.
Or is that
That's
your
already been
fault?
shipped. It's been shipped from them. It's Ozpost. It's in on Ozpost's hands now, and it's their fault.
from? Oh, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Do we have any other talking points? Because we've already gone.
I was going to
40
bring
minutes.
up
I've
something. I was going to bring up.
A point.
Sure,
Go
go
on.
on, Cal.
I think we should stop rating movies.
As in, like at the end of the.
Yeah.
Is this like a business meeting topic,
No, this
or
is just
do you
this
think?
is just we can put it to audiences as well if they think. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I had this discussion a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking maybe we should stop. See, now the only reason I brought this up was because we got like 7 episodes in where we all had the same opinion of the movie and we all rated it similarly, so I felt like it was kind of pointless.
Mm.
But then Inherent Vice happened, and then now, obviously, this film we have both Seb, you have differing opinions to Callum and I.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like maybe it's worth keeping if we do more films that divide us a bit more.
It's up to
At least
I don't know.
if not for like, even if it doesn't happen frequently, you know.
Or
I think it's good.
I don't
then
really
in saying
I
that-
don't really respect film reviewers though, so that's just my thing.
Why not? This is basically a film review podcast.
No, and that's what kills me.
I wouldn't call it a review podcast. I call it I like it being more of an open discussion. I think it's just fun to
It's
talk about
definitely
movies.
open. Like
Yeah.
a lot,
Definitely,
there's a
it's-
lot of open discussion.
It's open like a left wing's relationship. Ayo, that joke was pretty controversial. I'm sorry. I apologize for that one.
This is
don't
the
care.
controversy
we know
episode.
that you're an alt-right extremist. So we know.
Hang on. I'm not the one who had an alt-right phase. Let's be honest. Let's premise that.
Yeah, Evan.
I am
Evan,
the most.
why
I am the most progressive. Oh, like that's
you're
gonna make like people are gonna realize that. Don't worry about it.
I think we're all pretty
Yeah.
progressive, actually.
We're all very progressive. Not
We are
problematic.
Well, I don't understand how someone can be like our age and be not progressive. I don't know.
I support sex workers. I know what you're talking about. I'm progressive.
No, it's not like. It's
I
not
think
throwing
we're
shit- it's
stepping
not-
in. I think we should not have this discussion on the podcast.
Just to say one word of me of that. Like, what's your opinion on that?
What?
No, I agree. I agree. I
Yeah,
don't understand anybody who can be actually like who can actually be hateful towards a specific group in this day and age.
Even that, and like how people like our generation can be like not left wing. I just don't get it. It's like
Even if they do, it's like it's a childhood thing. It's a childhood circumstance thing, and it's also just some people just hate for the meme, for like the joke of hating. Like because I scroll through TikTok like many of the people our age, and I just see people just try and just tear others down just because they look a bit silly to the normal person's eye.
Did you see that TikTok ripped apart Teo Cruz?
Teo Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 12-year-olds fucking kicked him off the app.
That was harsh, man.
That was dumb. I didn't read, actually. I didn't see any of what they said.
I just watched
but
it
was
on the Phil
definitely
DeFranco show.
fair enough.
I don't use TikTok, so I wouldn't know. Anyway,
This,
no, I agree.
I'm sorry. I think this is the most off-topic podcast we've had.
No, it's not.
I'd probably
not.
agree with you there.
No, we've got way off topic for other episodes, but you know, that's fine. It doesn't matter. I think it's good that it's open. It leads to funny moments,
Definitely
possibly
does.
controversial moments like this episode. But moving on.
Yeah, we've had some.
I did have one more point I wanted to bring up, but we got so way late on other topics, I forgot what it was.
I want to talk about the movie review point now, actually, because that's a discussion. Why do you think we should not do it? In my response to it, I think, if anything, we should probably be more harsher, because I feel like we're all pretty optimistic and we're all pretty easily pleased.
Well, because the way that I think of movies is that probably because we all study them, but I don't know. I think of movies as like it's like an art form. Like people put a lot of effort into making a movie, and then when you've just got some reviewer who's just like who
shits on it,
who shotguns like 5 movies a day, and then writes some puff piece about it, going like, oh, this was bad because of this reasons. All right, next, this movie was bad because of these reasons, and it just feels like you're ripping down someone's work. Like they really put a lot of work and time and love into this piece, and then someone just rips it apart.
Such as this film, because this, like I said, it's a very personal film. I feel to Sam Peckinpah, and then obviously to have, I'm not condoning alcoholism. I'm just saying maybe fucking he had some reasons. If you know his films got shit on the way that this one did.
I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, oh Jesus.
No.
No, this isn't like
Peckinpah.
anything specific. This is just I just don't agree with film reviewers. Like I understand that it's kind of important for like people who aren't like us, who aren't as connected in the film world as us, because I think it's fair to say that the three of us generally we're fairly connected in all of the film area. We know what's coming out. We know the news and stuff.
Yeah, for the most
But
part.
there's people
Yeah.
who don't want to be like that. They just want to they want to go to the cinema when cinemas one day reopen, and look at a review of something and go, yeah, that sounds good, and then watch it. And I understand where that is, but I don't know. It's such a strange topic.
I get what you mean. So my whole thing, where with I talked to you guys about this before, but with the YouTube channel that I want to start, where I'll spotlight certain films that I think are underrated, mostly films from my sphere of B movies and Grindhouse, that kind of thing. I think that there's too many reviewers, especially on YouTube, not just like actual critics, but reviewers whose whole shtick is just being snarky and shitting on bad movies, and I feel like there's not enough that do the opposite of that, and that's one of the
we're not
reasons.
calling shade, but I feel like I don't speak for Evan, but I'm saying maybe he's. I feel like this is. I'm actually going to ask Evan: is this in relation to like your movie sucks and?
No. I'm
I
not
Hate
throwing
Everything
shade
and all that?
at them. I do enjoy their content.
Well,
I like
those are the
them a
only
lot.
two that I know. So anyway,
I like them.
I think
They're funny
I think it's more things like I just drew a complete mental blank. What are they called? The
like CinemaSins type
CinemaSins.
stuff. Just bottom of the.
CinemaSins,
It's just.
that's
It's just bottom
sorry,
of
just
the.
preface. I actually really like YMS's content. I think Adam
Yes.
does
So do I, yeah.
fantastic work.
He's great. Have you seen that man's Blu-ray collection?
I watched half of his 9-hour video on it. Yes, while I was playing other games.
His processor must be fried after doing one of those.
He does
Must
music
be
too. He's
molten.
talented. Anyway, I don't. I'm not throwing shade at any specific content creators other than CinemaSins, maybe. Fuck 'em. But I just think in general there's enough reviewers doing YMS's type thing, even if they don't do the same movies or same kind of content, or they're not of the same knowledge level as him.
I think on YMS's on his content he means to speak his own opinion. He means to he doesn't intend to tear things down. Whereas some channels will mimic his style and kind of take that.
Yeah, they missed the point.
As a tear down.
Yeah.
My point was that I think there's enough channels that focus on criticism or serious criticism in that way, and there's not enough that just focus on you should look at this film because this is good because of this. There's not enough of that in my opinion. Which is why I'm keen to do my own videos in that style, and then also I'm keen to why I was keen to do this podcast with you guys. Apart from the fact that it's fun talking about movies and we have a few laughs, it's a good way to sort of like express my feelings on the films I like and why I like them, even if because it takes time to make content like that. I still haven't gotten around to it because we've got uni work and other stuff to deal with. But this is just a nice, easy way to sit down and get some of those thoughts out on similar films.
I think slowly we're starting to figure out the format of the show here.
Yeah, it works itself out, I reckon. We're definitely more comfortable than we started off with.
So to make a compromise, because Callum was suggesting getting rid of the movie rating system, I'm raising, maybe lowering it from 10 to 5, so there's more of a tighter number, and you can say whether if you're in the middle it's 3, love 5, hate 1. And then I kind of disagree with getting rid of it. I think if anything we should make it tighter, make it better, so it gives, because I feel like if our audience grows, there will be people that will side with either one of us. They will align with their opinions or our taste.
For sure.
And I think they'd respect and would be curious to, not say anything pretentious, but they'd want to know our opinions.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And they'd want to see what we like as audience members as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's fine. Either way, that's fine by me. I think the only downside of that is because whoever's picking whichever film for each week, that's going to be a high rating because it's a film that we picked. Unless, of course, one of you are planning on picking a movie that you hate just to shit on it. I don't know if that was the thing that crossed either of your minds.
Well, I really want to do Cool Cat Saves the Kids or The Room, but you guys strongly disagree with doing that.
I'm fine with doing literally anything.
I don't know if I can make myself sit down and watch that.
What, Cool Cat Saves the Kids?
I don't, like, I can watch the meme reviews on it, I can watch clips of it because it's funny, but I'm not going to sit down and watch the entire thing. I don't think I can sit through that.
And I'll tell you, you
I don't think I can make myself.
You leave it a different man.
I don't think I can sit through it. I'm sorry.
As someone who did, you change mentally. I'll be honest.
Just like Derek Savage did.
But is that anyway? Is any other talking points that we can just bring up quickly, or do you want to go into final thoughts?
Well,
I did, but I forgot.
On a final note of that, what if instead of like actual rating something, we do like what other people have done, where instead of going like this is a so and so out of 5 or something, we go like we've got like two, like I hate to use the word catchphrase, but like two different ratings. Like the Weekly Planet, they do like best movie ever and worst movie ever. I'm not saying we do that, but what if we do something that's similar to that, where we like, I don't know, where we say like
I kind of prefer where we pick our own little creative.
I do really enjoy that. I think that adds just a little bit of creativity.
Like what was my last week one? Different characters that don't get explained out of 10. That was definitely. I think it was my favorite one. I don't remember my other ones.
And mine was last week. My one was like mouthfuls of weed. From.
But yeah, I kind of like that system. I think it's definitely unique for our one.
I think it's just fun.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's like a little quick improv gag as well.
This episode has turned into just us discussing how we should structure our podcast.
Oh well, we're starting to get a little bit of audience feedback, so I think it's good including
as
them.
much as we just shat on.
The comment don't need to just read the surname. Don't read the surname. It's fun.
Then we really do thank you for listening. We really appreciate it.
It actually does. We were very happy to actually see that someone. You
should have seen Seb's reaction. I said, oh, we've got so and so amount of listeners in like on this one episode, and Seb goes, oh, okay, and then he's going through the YouTube and goes, we've got a comment.
Yeah, like a caveman. I made fire. I jumped up and down in my room. Anyway. Head of Alfredo Garcia ratings. Evan, your pick first. Let's go with you.
I reckon I'll give it. I don't know. I don't actually know because it's such a, like I said this before, but such a hard film to talk about.
Let's test the new system then. Let's do out of 5 instead of out of 10.
I think in that case, I'm comfortable giving it 5. 5 Chris Christopherson's beard and hair out of 5.
I like that.
We didn't mention that. Did you notice his cameo, Seb?
No,
As the biker? Okay.
Very
I
I know the name Chris
He was
Christopherson.
in,
as
he's
a-
in Blade.
He's in Convoy as well. I know
okay.
from Convoy.
Callum, what's your rating?
I'm going to give it. I don't know. 3.5 weird, creepy bikers out of 5.
Now, I didn't hate the film. I didn't love the film, so that's why I'm going to give it a very strong, a very sturdy 3. Three picnic baskets out of 5.
Nice. That's a good one.
Fair enough.
I think it's better. I think it's better if we just give the number instead of the final thoughts as well, because then we've already discussed it for about an hour.
Could I change mine? I take back weird bikers. Can I just give it 3.5 heads of Alfredo Garcia out of 5?
Do whatever you want.
Sure.
Sure.
Alright, do
That's
This
fine. Looking
is a
back
fucked
on the
episode.
audio track, we've definitely peaked like so many times.
Because I've laughed a lot. So it's mostly me
I
laughing.
need to move.
at
No.
When I like scream, I need to move back from my mic.
Okay, that's just a suggestion. Let's have listeners. Let's have it at about 55%. Actually, this is gonna. It's at the end now. You wouldn't have even known that it was coming. Anyway, I've been Seb, joined by Evan and Callum. This has been Rewind Rental, talking about Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. We're on all main RSS feeds.
We're on. No, that's not what it is. We're on all streaming services besides Amazon. So we're on Podbean. We're on Overcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, you name it.
Anywhere you can get an RSS feed, that's where we are.
Exactly.
If you'd like to comment, like our first one did, she was, I'm not assuming the gender, they were the lucky person to comment first, and they will be immortalised in history. If you'd like to write us in, we have an email. It's rentalrewind.biz@gmail.com. That's rentalrewind.biz@gmail.com. Thoughts and opinions, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
See ya.
Farewell.